Welcome to the Leadership Intelligence Podcast. My name is Charles Rogel, and I'm the Vice President of Products and Marketing for DecisionWise. Today, I am joined by our CEO, Dr. Tracy Maylett.
Hi, Charles.
Tracy is one of the co-authors of the book, The Employee Experience: How to Attract Talent, Retain Top Performers, and Drive Results. Today, we're talking about Chapter 8 of the book. It's titled Moments of Truth. And Tracy, in this chapter, you provide a couple examples of companies or these moments of truth that happen to employees, one of which is with the company Airbnb.
Yeah, we use a couple of examples, so let's start off with that good example. Airbnb did it right when it comes to moments of truth, and then we'll describe what a moment of truth is. So in March of 2014, or somewhere in that general time frame, Manhattan host rented out his condo or his apartment through Airbnb.
Yeah.
Very, very publicized. Basically what happened was the guests trashed the place.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, just totally trashed it.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, there was significant damage that was done to the apartment building. And so what happened was the Airbnb had in the past dealt with guests like this. And so Airbnb quickly and decisively stepped in and handled this on behalf of the property owner.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what Airbnb did was they sent the host to a hotel for a week, sent in a locksmith to the apartment to change all the locks, and then wired him $23,800.
Wow.
So basically what happened again was we have what we refer to as a moment of truth. Will this organization live up to what it says it's going to live up to? And that basically says that a moment of truth is that time when that contract is put to the test. In this case, Airbnb claimed that they would take care of their guests, claimed that they'd take care of their hosts, and they did it. Mm-hmm. And so a moment of truth reaffirmed that contract.
So these moments of truth then, are they these times that happen when there's maybe a breach of this expectation that you have, or something terrible happens?
Sure. Moments of truth aren't always the bad part, right? So it basically says they dictate what happens to the contract. Let me give you an example. Moments of truth do one of three things. First of all, they can reinforce the contract, it can violate the contract, or it can generate a new contract. So in the case of what we saw with Airbnb, it reinforced that contract that existed that said, we will take care of you. I'll give you a quick example. Let's suppose that we have an employee in a university, and she examines the maternity policy, and basically she finds out after she's been employed there for 3 months that she can take that maternity leave.
Yeah.
And so she does. She takes that maternity leave. The university supports her very nicely, very well, and she finds that basically what's happened in this moment of truth is that the university supported her, and so that contract was reinforced.
Yeah.
That agreement that they had that says, here you go, basically was reinforced. Now let's take that same employee, and let's suppose that something happens. That employee finds out that the policy's been changed, and really she's not eligible for maternity leave until she's been there for 1 year with the university. Now all of a sudden we have a contract that the moment of truth, when it came, that moment of truth violated that contract.
Yeah, for that employee.
For that particular employee, exactly right. We also have the third scenario, which a moment of truth can generate a new contract.
Okay.
So let's suppose we have that employee and she's working, she comes to the point when it's time to come back from maternity leave, and she realizes that it's not going to be as easy as she thought it would be, or it just wasn't working out given what she needed to do. Then she works with the university. The university says, well, not only will we allow you to work from home, but we'll come up and set up everything for you technology-wise so you can take care of what you need to do.
Okay.
In return, we would expect this. So basically what happens is there's a new contract that's generated when that moment of truth comes into play. So moments of truth do the three things. They reinforce a contract, they violate the contract, or they generate a new contract.
So in the book, you also kind of separate them or distinguish between Chronos moments of truth and Kairos moments.
Yeah, that's interesting, because one of the things that we've been up against is we've been introducing, and we were one of the first to introduce this concept of the employee experience, is the confusion that the employee experience has with things like the employee life cycle or talent management.
Yeah, a lot of people equate it with that.
Sure. Yeah, while the employee life cycle is a piece of the employee experience, it's certainly not equal to it. So the employee life cycle basically is comprised of a number of chronological events. Chronos is one of the types that we refer to when we talk about moments of truth. There are Chronos moments, and there are also Kairos moments, both of them Greek words. A Chronos moment is basically what we would find in an employee life cycle. It's those things that happen on a planned basis that deal with a particular time.
Yeah.
So examples of these would be, and they're very predictable, pre-hire and recruiting, onboarding, compensation, performance reviews, growth and development opportunities, and then the exit. So it truly is that life cycle.
Sure.
Those are the chronological moments. Now, moments of truth, when it comes to a chronological moment, is did we meet what we thought we were going to? Did I receive my onboarding the way I was supposed to? That moment of truth. There are even more important moments of truth that we refer to as kairos moments, from the Greek kairos moments, K-A-I-R-O-S, which translated is the right moment.
Okay.
These are moments that aren't necessarily planned for. They're not chronological. They don't happen over a series of a piece of time. So this may be an example of those things that we don't plan for. The first time that an employee experiences, say, an outside job offer. That's not planned for, but it is a moment of truth. What will happen? That first really big customer complaint that individual deals with.
Yeah.
Conflict between colleagues. Maybe there's a workplace romance, or maybe there's substance abuse or headcount reductions. These are kairos moments that aren't planned
Unexpected
for.
times that pop up.
Yeah, exactly.
So when describing these moments of truth, you use another analogy or term called trust accounts to account for them.
Yeah, the way that these moments of truth are handled or perceived is based on trust that's built up.
Okay.
So bottom line is we're all going to mess up on our contract, right? You've messed up on your side of the contract. We've messed up on ours, and it happens. Now, moments of truth dictate what will happen as a result of that, and those are based on whether or not we have trust built up. We call this trust equity.
Sure.
Do we have equity of trust built up? Now, when I mess up on my end of the contract and I don't have that equity built up, and you look at that, then basically our contract is dissolved.
Just give up on it.
Just give up on it. You say, yeah, it's done. The relationship is over. But if we've built up a series of deposits in that trust account to where you say, yes, Tracy really messed this one up this time, but I know he's going to be good for it.
Yeah.
Because we built up that trust. That's trust equity. Now, when trust is broken, one of the things that you're going to examine is one of three factors. What is the intention? What is the amplitude? And what is the recovery? So when we break trust, you're going to look at that and say, did Tracy try to break that trust? What's your intent? The next one is the amplitude, the degree to that. If I mess up and fail to, if I instead of booking you an aisle seat, I book you a window seat, I messed up on that contract, but it's not that big of a deal. But if I promise that we'll not have any layoffs in this organization, and all of a sudden I have layoffs the following week, the amplitude of that is huge.
Right.
And then finally, the last part of that is the recovery. We call this the organizational apology. There's simply times when I'm going to mess up, and what you're going to look at is, yeah, but what are you trying to do to recover from this? Are your intentions good to where you're trying to recover from this in the right way? Okay. So when we look at trust accounts, we're looking at a few things. One is trust equity. The next thing we're looking at is what is the degree of intention, amplitude, and recovery.
Well, Tracy, I want to thank you for a brief overview of Chapter 8 of the book, The Employee Experience. We just talked about moments of truth. You can get a copy of the book at Amazon or any other book reseller. The Employee Experience, How to Attract Talent, Retain Top Performers, and Drive Results is published by Wiley. Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you.